let's keep talking about winter 2024. So this is Tales of Wedding Rings. I've watched the...
So I just watched episode 4 of Tales of Wedding Rings, and I talked about this one when the first episode came out and how I found it interesting and was going to keep watching. I also said in another video I wasn't sure about this one, and I have some additional thoughts, and I'm actually really interested on what my mutuals think of this one, if you guys are watching it. So basic premise of the story, it's an isekai. He's from Earth, she's from another world. He gets brought into her world, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to go too much into it. If you click back on the video I stitched, I talk about the synopsis there. My issue with this anime is it's an ecchi, which is not a problem for me. I don't mind ecchi. Obviously I don't mind mature themes. I'm a fucking adult. What bothers me is all of the ecchi scenes center around mostly these two, and they're 16 years old. And my thing is, so they get married, right? So they're married in her world. And this is also a harem anime, and he just married another character. And the whole point is, he becomes like the ring king, and as he collects rings, he gets more power, and like, so that, all of that is fine. And I don't really necessarily have an issue with the harem thing either. It's the ages that bug me. Because as a almost 40-year-old woman, just, I don't know, watching, I know they're cartoons, I know it's just a bunch of pixels on the screen, but to me it's like, why do they have to be 16? Like, why didn't we just age them up to in their 20s? Like, why do they have to be fucking children? This is a common issue I have with anime, and obviously it didn't bother me when I was younger because I was a teenager and I didn't give a fuck, but the more I age, the more I'm like, this doesn't sit right with me. And I see myself leaning more towards stories that feature, you know, adults. Because again, I don't necessarily have an issue with a story where the characters are teenagers or children. But in this context, where they're highly sexualized and they appear naked, I mean, you see her whole areolas. It doesn't sit right with me. And I don't know. I said I was going to give this anime a chance. I'm 4 episodes deep. Episode 4 would have been a really good episode if it hadn't been for the bath scene at the end, to me. Like, that was entirely unnecessary, and there's a scene where, I think she's an adult, one of the other elves enters the bath with these two characters plus the new woman he married, who is also probably 16, I imagine. And then an adult woman comes in and, like, tries to pressure these two to have sex. And I'm like, what the fuck, you know? So yeah, I don't know. I'm really curious what other people think of this. Am I being a prude? Because I don't know. I was enjoying the episode right up until that point, and then I was like, truly, what was the point in this? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, let me know what you guys think. This might be one I actually end up dropping.